Hi y'all. ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder. Okay, that's a disorder today. But was it a disorder 12,000 years ago when the planet reset, or 120,000 years ago? Back in that time, there was a lot of woods. This is wilderness right here, okay, that I'm in. And all your senses 12,000 years ago or 120,000 years ago had to be working constantly all the time. You know, hear the birds, feel the wind blowing on your skin, looking at the environment, all that stuff. But anyways, let's talk about this. I'm just out here with just my knife. Okay, that's another thing. All your equipment could give you a false sense of security. You're really alone out here when all you have on you is just your knife, a pair of gloves, you know. But let me show you the first thing to do if you find yourself alone in the woods and all you have is your knife. First thing you want to make is some kind of device. You know, you grab a stick from a tree or something and you put a point on it like that. See that? That you could walk with. A lot of times I don't come out here with the only thing I come out here with is just my knife, and of course I'm wearing boots, right? Because this is after 3 weeks of rain. But yeah, attention deficit disorder. I'm gonna go ahead and walk this way. That's a disorder that kept us alive, the human race alive, 12,000 years ago, after the reset. See how you could use your stick to probe? Or however long ago we were here. But see, you couldn't. Right now they got us to where we're sitting in an office inside rooms with 4 walls, and you have to focus on one thing. But you know, if you're out in the wilderness where, like right here, where everything's trying to eat you, like in this environment, I know that I have coral snakes, water moccasins. I haven't seen a copperhead yet, but I know they're here. Brown recluse spiders, black widow spiders, they're all running around in here. Okay? And if you come out here and all you have is just your knife, and sometimes I don't even come out here with this phone. I'm coming out here with a phone today because I'm making a video. But that's 3 weeks of rain right there. All this debris is piled up. Now, when you're out here alone and you don't have anything on you, you don't have your security equipment on you, your safety equipment, you don't have anything but your knife and a spear that you're supposed to make right away, right? See here it is right there? When you have your spear, this is all you have. And this right here is a probe, okay? Let me show you this right here. You really understand how vulnerable you are when you have nothing on you. Now this is just, I've got 6 acres of woods, right? But this land right here is 300 acres, and the one down there is also 300 acres. But, so I'm looking at this right here. Now, can you make anything of this right here? The cows came over here. Now, if you weren't familiar with this property, the first thing you should gather when looking at this fence line is, wow, man, look at that cow print. The cow tried to go over, but it stopped because, look, It sunk in the dirt right here, in the sand. If I'm walking, let me go ahead and do that. Let me put this right here so you can see my stick. If I'm walking, I know this property, so I know I'm not going to sink, but if I see something like this right here, I could get stuck in that, okay? Like right here, cows, they only came here one time. They don't mess around with this fence line. And I've got to let it dry a little bit more before I clean it up. But they're coming around, and you know, I'm paying a lot of attention when I'm walking. So, hear all the birds. See the trail over there? But ADD, if you really think about it, attention deficit disorder, that's a modern time disorder. It's not a disorder thousands of years ago. Hear all these birds chirping. You know, you always had to be moving when you're in the brush. You always had to be moving and thinking all the time. Your brain had to be working fast because it's like eat or be eaten, right? How many minutes I got left? Oh, 6 minutes. So it's eat or be eaten. But yeah, ADD. And you know, there are snakes that hang out in trees. See, I could use my probe right there. See that branch right there? Use my probe right there to whack that branch. So when you're out here, when I'm out here alone, it's another thing. When you're out alone in the woods, you know that if you make a mistake, it's over. If I get my foot stuck in some quicksand down there, something happens. I don't have a phone that I could call to call somebody over, okay? And you know, and then I could use this stick right here, like if there's a snake or something on the path, or let's say I run into some animals, I'd be able to you know, do something with this stick, right? But yeah, so ADD is a disorder that resulted from modern world, the globalism, you know. We've all been stuck in rooms, and a lot of us don't have this experience right here, you know, to be out here in the wild. Well, not really wild, but the wilderness. I just got a taste of it because I'm trying to leave this 6 acres right here wild. Okay, so you've got to take in all the information, and there's, you know, you got the 5 senses, right? Sight, smell, sight, smell, hear, feel, right? You can feel stuff, the wind blowing, and then you know, whatever that other one is. I only remember the 4. But anyways, you got to be able to feel what's going on around you. You hear that one cricket? Did it alert when I walked by, or is it just a normal sound? All these things constantly changing in a wooded environment where it's eat or be eaten. So, you know, I'm always looking, and I wouldn't dare walk around in here with you know, with those garden shoes that you see me wearing. You know, I got boots in here because I'm telling you, some of these snakes, you can't see them until you're right. You can't even see them even if you're right on top of them. You know, this is a whole big difference than walking in a, you know, in a park with trails and stuff. You know, it's not the same thing. If you notice, I pay more attention to the ground than than actually staring at the camera. Can't afford to, especially when you're out here alone. You know, knowing that making a mistake could cost you your life. And a lot of people, you know, a lot of these people like to carry their safety gear on them, be ready for anything at all times. How could you survive if you had nothing? You know, people are insecure with nothing but a knife. See that? Walk through here. It's pretty cool. It's fun. I have a lot of fun walking through here. And of course, the way to create, you know, there's probably a couple miles worth of trails in here, but and the way to do that is you always want to have left and right decisions whenever you're walking down a path. And of course, I'm looking. There's the cows. You know, I'm looking at everything here. And see, I could go left over here, or I could go straight. This is not real. You know, it's just a taste of wilderness living back here. But it's a different feeling because out here you're actually really using your senses, all of them. You know, you could